Let me at him!
Whoa! Well, there it is. Hello, welcome to a Warcraft 3 4 vs 4 random team game. Here we are, playing on Cherryville, and it's all kicking off. Undead's randoms afoot. I am going to be playing as Undead this game, and in a second we'll find out whether I'm on the outside position or on the inside. Looks like I'm on the outside. How much does that affect things? A little bit, because I'm somewhat vulnerable, but I'll be okay. I'll get over it. Don't you worry about little old me. I'll be okay. So let's see. We get our acolytes set up. We're feeling good about that. I will tell them what I'm doing in a moment, but it's mostly hero based more than it is unit based. But oh man, you're going. He just said one of the things I want to do, but and they were going to go. Well, don't do that. If he's doing it, well, screw you. I'm doing it. Okay, so let's see. Hashu says, something I think you've never done, Crypt Lord and Beastmaster and Dark Ranger. Purpose is to get as many summon units as possible on the field via Carrion Beetles, Rod of Necromancy, Black Arrow, Quill Beast, Bears, Necromancers and Skeleton upgrades. So that's what we're going to go and do. So we're going to get ourselves a graveyard as well. I can still get the ghoul out in time because the hero needs to obviously benefit from it. So yeah, as soon as I get the ghoul out, I'll let these guys know what's going down, so at least they've got some sort of like clarity there. And I don't have to worry too much about the shop because, well, the Rod of Necromancy gets screwed over. You get screwed over anyway with that. So yeah, I'll get it anyway in a second because the cigarette will allow it, or cigarette. Yes, ghouls, cigarette, ghouls, cigarette, ghouls, cigarette. So ghoul would come before that because I won't have a cigarette up in time for that. We can definitely get the Crypt Lord now. Crypt Lord, Beastmaster, Dark Ranger, Ghoul, Necro, Stats, and then we get cigarettes. And then we get complained at by allies. So that's what we're going for. And if he wants to summon some carrion beetles, he needs the graveyard to do it. If he wants to do it, if he's not using corpses nearby, and he wants to use the nearby graveyard, you can get him there. But the thing is with the Rod of Necromancy is that also requires skeletons, and you have to wait a little bit longer. So you can pretty much get away with building it later, I think. Or if not, I can always come back and use it, or pick it up, go creep. Yeah, come back over to the creeps. It's all good, it's all good. Ghouls are going to allow us to tech through to tier 2, so we can get to the statues and upgrade those as not so much the statues, more the necromancers rather, and also the upgrades as well. We want to get that going ASAP. Oh my god, that is a well early... What the okay, I'm going to Ruby and Tower up in here. What the hell's a grunt doing there? What the hell? He could actually be a pain of his Blade Master. Well, it wouldn't be a super pain, but it would stop the shop. But anyway, as you can see, the skeletons will pop up. They're not even all there. The earlier you get the graveyard, the quicker those will all basically be there for you to basically get a bunch of beetles out. If you're doing it this way, where you built the graveyard a little bit later, it's going to take a little bit longer, but then you just get your hero later, and then it kind of is the same process. So really, it's not too big a issue, because you still need to get Crypt anyway. Let's have a look here. I reckon he might have gone and Crypt this then whilst his grunt went over there. It's possible. If he's done that, then he's done that, really. I'm not going to contest it, not with what I've got at the moment. I'll go and find out with the beetles, but for now I just want to build up slowly and work my way towards tier 2 so I can also get all the heroes and that kind of good stuff. And he didn't, so that's good. Still waiting on skeletons. So there might be another skeleton to come out in a second. That would turn into a beetle, and then the next skeleton would be a Rod of Necromancy. Because at the moment, as you can see, there are no usable corpses nearby. So you get the beetles first, which will be in a second. Boom. I've got it on autocast at the moment, that's perfectly fine. The only time that will really screw you up is if you're in a battle and you need to move and you autocast for some reason because you're just stopping. But then again, if you're moving, it shouldn't be an issue. Okay, so. More cigarettes. Get those skeletons in there. Maybe get Rod, because of Blade Master potentially. He might have crept this by now, and tons of ghouls on this, so we're going to have no issues teching straight up and getting all the upgrades. Get some damage in there. That's nice. If a beetle gets killed, then you can always res the beetle, or you can save the beetles by attacking your heroes so they don't get killed and just get the skeletons to tank instead. So highlight your beetles and your hero if you want the skeletons to take the aggro by attacking them, and then the creeps will have to focus the skeletons. But anyway, that's just nitpicking a little bit, that's not too big an issue. Could go for an expansion at this rate, to be honest with you. I think I could take the middle. Don't see why I couldn't. Bottom is really kind of blues territory. And no one suspects the Tekken Undead. I don't particularly need it with the kind of units I'm going, but I think I can get away with it, so I think I will. I guess I'll get the upgrades. They're not really that necessary right now, but there's not all that much else I'm spending my gold on. I should have got a Sacrificial Skull now, thinking about it, but never mind. What is done is done. Now, it's tend to go for the little ones because you can get lots of skeletons out of that kind of stuff. The big guy's going to take longer to kill, but whatever, we want to get this guy out of the way ASAP. I'm going to lose pretty much all of my army here, but whatever. And even then I'm going to go on these guys afterwards because they're still way more of a threat and they won't take that much longer to kill. Now, again, you could get carrion beetles because you've probably lost some carrion beetles. I'm going to go for tankiness here and summons, as is the strategy. And also, one of the benefits of being over here is one of these beetles can come over here, get myself a second hero, because that's what I was going for anyway. So as soon as I've got the resources for that, there's a skeleton. So you can actually get the beetle out of this instead of the Rod of Necromancy. But whatever floats your boat, really. Second hero is going to be the Beastmaster. I see. So he's looking for some... He really wants to come at me for some reason. As soon as I get the gold for that, that'd be fine. Got to be careful here though, because he could be going straight to this expansion point, which will be a nightmare. At least I got... Oh yeah, they all just sort of turn up here. Seems a bit odd, but okay. Yeah, I'm a little bit suspicious about that. Yeah, that seems a little on the light suspicion side. Okay, well, we're gonna have to abandon that. No expansion from me. Thank you for the heal there, Purple. I'll remember that. Still focusing my Crit Lord, even though he's a tanky fucker. Watch out for your Death Knight though now. Got a lot of them here. Okay, let's back off. And I'm going to tech up again so I can get the third hero out as well, quicker. You really want to go for that cool beast for some reason? Are you sure about that? I mean, they did all come as a group, so it might not be map hack, and that could have just been a logical point to go, but obviously it's very unfortunate when that happens. We shouldn't really be out here much longer, because they've still got much larger armies, but to be fair, I'm getting lots of summons. Ah, you didn't let me stop the autocast. Cool beasts are fucking awesome though. Watch out, Beastmaster, there won't be any more Quill Beasts if you get killed. Let's run you away the awkward way. Run up this way. Beastmaster's going all this way, because yeah, there's potential of getting stunned, so if I get stunned then I'm going to be in the best possible position. If he's got another stun on him, that would be so unfair. Yeah, I couldn't imagine he did. Beastmaster's just going to waste time. Statues, upgrades, happy days. Keep running. Unfortunately, it's going to give away your position potentially, but we're doing what we can. We're still against the odds here. This is all of them, really. There's no allies here. There's no blue or any of that kind of stuff. So we're hanging in there. Crit Lord getting super spazzed out there. Get to the back. Get inside the base. This is a lovely base to defend with, to be fair. We'll just hang around in here. Crit Lord will hang here. And I'll just spam out some Quill Beasts and everyone's happy. Okay, so keep getting the upgrades. Tier 3 will be mine soon, and then that other hero is going to come out. I've got a bunch of ghouls. I could use these fellas in a second. There's no reason why I can't have them join my army. We're going to go for bears, because that was suggested, over the hawk. Even though I like my bears, I can't get my Beastmaster back at the moment. Now he's moved his archers, I can do it. Because obviously, oh, nice little bonus there, getting the Dark Ranger. Even the frickin' Ancient Wonders is getting up in this action. Thankfully, Crit Lord's pretty damn tanky, so he's in a great position to keep tanking this. And he's not in too much trouble. So more upgrades to you. Tears going through. Statues, Aru. We can start lining stuff up now. Keep getting the upgrades now. Beautiful, okay. Well, that went really well, actually. No expansion, but we're kind of good. We could be aggressive now if we wanted. Can you get back, Mr. Ghoul? we should take this. Take it! And give nothing back! Don't let them take the expansion. Watch out, Mr. Death Knight. I see you getting focused. Need to get more necros up in here. You've got air coming in. The Hippo Widers. Beastmaster really wants to enjoy the health of the mana, but he's not going to go from that angle. Can we get some skeletons up in here? Benefit from their upgrades. Yeah, look at this positioning. It's beautiful. It's not easy to see what's going on right now, guys, but trust me, this is pretty good for us right here. And we can push stronger and further and possibly win the game right now. As long as everyone sticks together and doesn't get too distracted, we can really do quite well here. Turn off your autocast raise dead, although it doesn't matter too much. Send the skeletons off into smaller groups over here, here. Check for expansions. You can come over here. To be fair, it's easy to hotkey it with the crit lord when you start to get to this point. And I'm supposed to be getting Dark Ranger, aren't I? Yes. Wood? Not a problem. Okay, they went for a large expansion there. Oh, there's an easy expansion down there. Dark Ranger coming in. Black Arrow. Okay. Join in. Off we go. Try to stick as one. Try to avoid getting pushed back. But yeah, into mass necros now really, and hope that they don't get the proper counters for it just yet. Got loads of wood to upgrade ghouls pretty strongly. And they obviously put quite a lot of effort into that tier 1-ish rush. So the thing is that they shouldn't have like a super counter to us just yet. So we should be in a pretty good spot right now. We could go into the main base, but we got necros, so it's not actually a bad idea, because necros kind of keep the fight going. Would be nice if I had meat wagon as well and exhumed corpses. I haven't even got exactly the gold to pump out necros en masse. Oh my god, mortar teams would be a real problem. We kind of need to finish the game now almost. Yeah, we need to really punish them before they can bring in the mass mortars from the human player, which are going to be a real problem. Silence Rage is there, by the way. I could put some Unholy Frenzy, but I don't know whether I want to, because he could get super punished, that guy, with it. There's the tanks, though. That deals with that, but we got a good mass. The Silence is really nice move from that guy. It's really screwing over my necros, at least for the moment, but they will start to catch up. And then he's going to regret it. Well, he won't actually regret it, because he'd regret it more if he didn't silence me. But he'll regret it! Anyway, the skeletons are coming in. Beastmaster. Oh, look at this push. Just a glorious mass of units. The tanks are a good idea from Green, because it does deal with the Hippo Rider issue, but he also needs... He's got the pressure of having to build everything for the team. Fucking... You can't build mortars and tanks as well. Can't do it all. Wow, this really worked nicely for us. Beautiful control. Triple heroes on the go here. Just lovely. Roll it in. Now I could go for the Unholy Frenzy because we're kind of winning already. So that's something you can also do if you really want to put the pressure on. I could have done it, but I saw the tanks and I thought, well, Paint doesn't necessarily want me to do that to him just yet. We can always put it on like the Fiends or whatever. That's a bit of a safer unit to chuck it on. Crit Lord's always a good unit to chuck it on because he's like a beast mode when he starts attacking with the freaking Unholy Frenzy. So there you go. That was a short one, but I think it was a pretty awesome one actually. Like, it was a nice little sort of balance between them putting loads of pressure. Oh, I lost my expansion. That could have really screwed me over. But I just sort of got out of the situation. We managed to prolong the fight a little bit. Longer than we should have done. Picked off a few units here and there because they didn't micro too hard there. So it allowed us to sort of like drag things out. My allies got some benefit expansions, which I don't think the enemy probably did. If they put that pressure on, they probably only started getting expansion. They're probably in Blue's position where they just recently got an expansion. Whereas I think Purple and yeah, Pink had an expansion for a lot longer, so they were in a position where they could mass up those units and get away with it. So they got away with a bit moider, basically. So yeah, pretty awesome, really. There's not much else to say or tell on that tale. Not too bad, actually. Dark Ranger might be a slightly flawed third hero for this strategy, I think. Purely because by the time you get here, it's a bit harder to actually get units out of Black Arrow. That's much more an early game thing. It's less likely to pull units out. I mean, a big fight like this, yeah, there's units to kill and stuff like that. But can she reach? Can she get in there? If she does reach and get in there, is she then in harm's way because you're dealing with 4 armies and then she can't pull back out of all of your armies surrounding her? So it's probably better to go with Firelord, in my opinion, because lava spawns are something you can just plonk on the floor and let them do what they're going to do. Especially, they combine very nicely with Unholy Frenzy because they attack a lot quicker, which means that they can basically proc off more lava spawns because they basically, I think it's 10 attacks or 15 attacks. They then spawn a new lava spawn. And that's the idea. They spread and spread and spread until they got like a maximum of 6 of them or something like that. So, there. Pretty good. Not too bad. It actually worked quite nicely because allies weren't absolutely terrible there, and the enemy kind of didn't get enough success with their initial attack. I mean, that grunt scout at the start, he saw an undead base. Surely you know, never attack an undead base. Just don't do it. Scout for the Night Elf. If they attacked the Night Elf, that would have been better for them, but then they pushed towards the expansion. It didn't really exist, so then they kind of were dancing around with this tier 1 army here, being sort of like messed about with by us. They had like the upper hand, but at the same time they were kind of mixed and spread, and some of them coming over here, some of them were fighting purple over here, no one was doing whatever the hell he was down there, so they weren't as one cohesive army pushing here and pressuring us whilst we got expansions and stuff like that and teched up and like, oh crap, we haven't got units to deal with something. Look, there's bloody Tauren. What? Where? Why we got a... Yeah, exactly. So they had a good army, but they didn't utilize it well enough, and that allowed us to get away with what we did. So I'm not going to say if you perform this strategy you're going to get away with quite as much luck as I just did this game, but when it works, my goodness, it works. Yeah, Necros are very powerful indeed, and Cherryville's a pretty good map because it's got the Fountain of Mana in the middle to sort of benefit and boost up their mana should you be in a position to do that. But yeah, it worked. It worked nicely, so I'm pretty happy with that. Alrighty guys, have a good one, take care and all that, and look after yourself, I suppose. I want to see how many units I raised. There's buildings raised. What about units raised? Produced. 153 there. I think some of those at the end kind of counted as a bit cheating, but yeah, you can get quite a lot of units out of that, as well as the summons. The Beastmaster, fantastic. Those quill beasts were like really kicking ass versus those enemies. Look how much gold. I got the least amount of gold. Wasn't an issue. No problem. No problem, mate. Alright then, take care guys. See you later.